Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a pick a card, or I should say pick an element reading. And there really are no rules here. I will go ahead and give you some guidance on how you can choose your choices, but there are no rules. So I've got earth, air, fire, and water. So all of those elements fall under certain astrological signs. So I will go ahead and list that, of course, in the description box below. That way you guys can just choose what you want to watch. That way you guys don't have to watch the entire reading. You can, of course, take the entire reading, but this is geared towards masculine, feminine energy. You can be twin flames, soulmates, you could be karmic partners, you could be friends, family, however this resonates with you. But you are having an issue or a challenge, and so you just basically want to know what's going on with a connection. So whether you are a female and you're watching this video and you happen to be an earth sign, or the person that you're watching this video for is an earth sign, or a male or female, it does not matter. However you resonate with this reading is what is meant for you. So we're going to go ahead and start with the King of Earth and the Queen of Earth, which would fall under technically the astrological signs of Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So yeah, that's what we got. And I went ahead and pre-selected the cards because it would just be a very lengthy reading if I did not do that. So let's get into it. So the very first thing that comes through here for the person that you are watching the video for, or your own energies, is phobia. So there is phobia at the root of an issue. So somebody is afraid of something. Somebody might be afraid that nothing will come from a situation. Do I continue to put any more effort into it? Do I continue to basically try for this situation where it just seems that nothing is going to come of it? So we're afraid that everything that we've invested in, everything that we thought a situation or a person or connection was, that nothing at the end of the day is going to come from the situation. Now, this reading is not suggesting that nothing's going to come from the situation, because I don't believe that for any kind of a connection or anything that we experience. We always get something. There's always something to be gained in a situation, even if it doesn't turn out to be the most pleasant. There's always a lesson to be learned. We always learn and grow and ascend from every connection. So there's a phobia here, though, that it's a waste of time. Nothing will come of it. I'm afraid to move forward because what if something doesn't work? What if something happens? So there's a phobia that is at play here. This could even be, if you're watching the video for, let's just say, a King of Earth, and this could be what the situation is. Either you're afraid of this, or your King of Earth or Queen of Earth is afraid that nothing will come of this situation. They are afraid to invest in it for some reason, okay? We do have the bridge coming through, and the bridge is talking about staying strong and remain connected to what's important to you. So if you feel very connected to the situation and you are just afraid of taking a chance on it or a risk because you're afraid that it's not going to work out, you really need to remain true to what's important to you. But if being connected to this individual or feeling this way is not making you feel good, and you're just feeling like you're disconnected from the things that are important to you, then that's something to think about. Maybe this situation isn't worth your investment. Maybe your biggest fear really is a warning that you need to possibly focus elsewhere and not put so much focus and attention on this. Surrender your addictions. Somebody may have an addiction, either the person you're watching this video for, or maybe there's an addiction that you need to surrender. I'm going to read it. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, you need to take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. So we could be something that be doing something that has become quite addictive, as in a behavior, or just something that we're doing over and over again and getting the same results. Like, that's the interpretation of insanity. But this could also be actual physical addictions, or just even codependencies to people. This could be for the person you're watching this video for, as in they need to surrender something. So nothing can come from this because they are afraid to change. They are afraid to basically let go of something that is no longer good for them, or vice versa for you. Again, somebody is afraid. Somebody is feeling frightened or fearful and scared of letting an addiction go. So if this person has become an addiction for you, it may be that what Spirit's saying is that it's time to surrender your addictions. You know, we know you're afraid of letting this situation go. There again, phobia of letting it go, as in, oh my gosh, if I let this go, then it just was all for nothing. All this time, all this effort, all this energy that I've put into something just to basically let it go. Some people may be afraid of that, afraid of failure. But if it's the person that you're connecting to through this reading, they may be afraid to let something go. They may be afraid to let a cycle go in their life. And that is causing nothing to come from the situation right now. Nothing is going to happen at this point because somebody is too afraid to surrender something. So what does it do? It puts us in freeze mode. Do we just freeze up and do nothing? Do we just put this on hold and wait? Of course, the choice is yours. But this is about really telling us we need to surrender anything that is just no longer serving us in a positive way. So maybe we need to put it on freeze. Maybe we need to put it on hold for a little bit of time before we figure out what we want to do. Or maybe it just needs to be set on hold forever. You know, it just really depends on how you are resonating with these messages that are coming through. If you're looking for closure, that might be a message. We have water flight. This is talking about heaviness lifts, burdens are cast away, weightlessness. So this card is about burdens. This just means that we have been underwater. We have been drowning for a while. You know, we need to let the water take flight and bring us back up to the surface so we can breathe again. Have we been underwater for so long? Have we been literally frozen by fears and we don't want to let something go? We don't want to let something change. So somebody is really needing to, let their restrictions or the burdens of the situation go. So if you're waiting on somebody to surrender addictions or surrender a situation so the two of you can have a better circumstance, it's not suggesting here that they're going to do it, but this is something that needs to happen in order for the two of you to have a better situation. We do have forgiveness. So somebody does feel regretful and sad. You might need to forgive yourself perhaps for maybe staying connected to a situation that seems to just not be going anywhere. You need to give yourself a break. You need to hug yourself and tell yourself it's okay because, we all, again, learn. Nothing will come from this situation. Not true. Wisdom will come from this situation. This is about forgiving someone else for not being strong enough to be able to change or let go of what is holding them down. Okay? We do have the Two of Summer. Now, the Two of Summer is a beautiful card to get with all of these darker cards. This is literally talking about two people coming together and making a commitment, a relationship that can be healed. So what I'm getting here is that there is potential for you to heal this connection. Doesn't necessarily mean that you two will come back together and be together, but there can be healing through forgiveness. Forgiving your person for what they have done or haven't or can't do. One of the two. This is going to lift the heaviness or the burden in your situation. This is going to bring the light, portal of light back into the situation. The only way out of this situation, the only way that something can come from this situation and that it's not all for nothing is if we release any kind of unforgiveness and fears and burdens that we may feel. That is what's going to come from this situation. And it might be that doing that, lifting the fear, lifting the phobia, lifting the fear of, oh my gosh, they can't change, or what if I give them a chance and it all turns to shit. This is the only thing. Two people making a commitment to try. Okay? But you might be dealing with somebody who's not willing to do that. So you've got to come to the realization that you've got to forgive and that you just have to let somebody go and either find their way to the light or to move towards the light yourself. But both people can't be in darkness, because if they are, then nothing will come from the situation. People will stay stuck. People will stay stagnant. So I'm really picking up on an energy here where we've got two people that may be afraid for different reasons, and something's just not happening. Something is just at a standstill. There's definitely potential here for a connection. There's definitely a shared connection here. But the thing is, unless somebody does something, then nothing's going to happen in this situation. And doing something doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get what we want out of the situation. What we will get, though, is this reduction of heaviness, the reducing of this burden. If you've been carrying around a burden in this situation for a while, you do have an opportunity to heal it, but you might be afraid to let this go. It may have become quite an addiction, or somebody is just afraid to let go of their circumstances so the two of you can come together and have a good, connection here. But somebody has to see the light, and we can't make them see it. All we can do is take care of ourselves. So if you're shackled by your unforgiveness for somebody, or you're afraid of something, or you're afraid to trust someone again, you're only keeping yourself down. You're only keeping this connection down. We have to give it a chance. We have to let something go in order to gain something. So I hope that made sense to some of you out there. I hope it resonated with some of you, regardless of whatever situation you're going through. So now we're going to go into air, number 2. Okay, guys, if you chose number 2 or chose the element of air, this is going to be Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. These messages could be for you. If you're a male or female, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what kind of connection it is. It can be a love connection of any kind. This is what we have here. So this is a situation where you're in challenge with somebody. There's been some sort of an issue, and you just basically want some advice on this. So we have passive aggressive behavior going on. It's either coming from you or the other person, but it's become an issue. Somebody is passively aggressively communicating. And so it makes it very difficult to kind of get anywhere when somebody is in this space. So it may be that if you're the person watching this video and this is your behavior, it may be very difficult because somebody is telling you, I don't want this, or I want this and I want that. And you don't really want that. And so you just kind of go along with it. And then when the time comes and you're not liking the outcome, then the aggression comes out. That's passive aggressive behavior. Letting things slide, saying you're okay, but you're not, or perhaps you say certain things to get a certain reaction. So there's some kind of an energy that's going on here. Somebody could be provoking you, though, by being passive to get an aggressive response out of you. So that way you have to take the brunt of the issue or the problem. That way you're the one that is at fault and not them. So there's that as well. Because I have a lot of masks going on here. I have somebody who's wearing a mask with this masquerade. Somebody that thinks somebody's drama. So I'm getting that energy here where somebody may be looking at someone else as the problem. So we have this card here that says, take the time to breathe out. This is literally take a breather. This is a time to take a break from this kind of energy. If you're feeling passive aggressive, if somebody's acting this way towards you, this just means it's time to take a break. It's time to take a little bit of space, okay? Because we're not going to get anywhere with this energy. We also have the 5 of Spring, 5 of Wands, which is talking about opposing goals that are arising from differing opinions. So this is about being at odds with other people. So this is an energy here where people are arguing and they're fighting and they're just not seeing eye to eye right now. So that's a real problem. Somebody's really lacking understanding. They're not seeing the full picture. They're not taking accountability for their own behavior, whether that's you or the other person. But somebody needs to see something. They need to see the light within their own problems or their own behavior, because someone is seeing somebody as a drama person, like a drama queen or a drama king, and somebody's wearing a mask. And so this is also about being a little superficial, somebody who's just kind of being surface as well. You might be dealing with somebody like that. But really what I'm getting more than anything is that somebody is labeling someone else as the issue rather than taking accountability for their own issues or problems. Okay, because we also have defenses. Somebody's defenses are up. Somebody's defense mechanism is to blame, to project onto the other person. See, they're not able to see the true them. So this really does require somebody to see themselves for who they truly are, to take responsibility for their own actions. And this is just not happening right now in your connection. Somebody is just not seeing themselves. They're not seeing the light. They're blaming somebody. So what they're doing is they're closing the door. So if you're dealing with somebody who has cut you out of their life, or they have felt like you are just the problem, and so they're telling you, I don't want to be with you, or I don't, want to talk to you, or whatever the situation is, that's because somebody is being passive aggressive. And when we're in this behavior, like I just said, we can't get anywhere. Somebody is overwhelmed though. So somebody might be overwhelmed by what they're thinking, by what they're feeling. And so if they're not able to express this to you, that is because they just can't handle something right now. They can't handle how you're going to react. They can't handle maybe your dramatic, response. Maybe people are avoiding other people at this point, okay? But again, somebody needs to take the time to reflect and see their own issues here. They do. So bear it all, be naked. Again, somebody is not willing to bear it all. Somebody is not willing to basically say, hey, this is how I truly feel. This is what I truly want. Instead, I'm going to be passive aggressive. So this is a technique that a lot of people use in any kind of connection. It's an easier approach to deal with conflict and issues. So instead of obsessively thinking about why something is happening, or why this person's acting this way, or trying to figure out the mystery of what's happening here, Spirit is saying we've just got to release the obsessive thinking. So it says, if you're obsessing about a person or a situation, turn the dilemma over to Spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. So trying to figure it out and fix it, and push a person to either talk to you or tell you what's wrong or try to figure out what's happened. Really, what you need to realize is that somebody has to just figure out things for themselves. We can't make them see it. We can't make them tell us. They just have to figure it out. So in the meantime, what Spirit is saying is you just got to let go. You got to let go. You might even need to say farewell for a little bit of time. You got to release this. So if you're fighting the inevitable, or you're fighting to make something work, or you're fighting to figure out the mystery of what's happening, or why a person's acting this way, or what they're saying or what they're not saying, I'm just getting that it's really some kind of conflict that they have within themselves, to where passive aggression or passive aggressive behavior is at the root of it. And it's just very difficult when you've got somebody that's not willing to just be naked and be vulnerable and tell you what's going on. So when people get into this energy, they're more apt to project something onto you and to blame something onto you and make you take the fall because they can't deal with their own shit and their own emotions. So I hope that helps some of you out there. If you're that kind of person and you're dealing with that kind of behavior for yourself, and this is something that you continuously do because this is what helps you to feel safe, to where you don't have to deal with certain emotions, hopefully there is some kind of a, maybe a message in there for you that that's not the best way to deal with it. And that might be how somebody is viewing you right now. And that might be why they're wanting to let you go, or they're distancing themselves from you. They could be viewing you as a drama queen, or obsessing about them, or thinking about them. And this is just too much for them. And so they are now just passive aggressively letting you go and just basically saying, I can't deal. So that could be it as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed that or got something from it. I don't know how enjoyable it was, but thank you for watching. I'm going to go into the next one. Okay, guys, so this is number 3. This is for fire sign individuals. We have Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So you could be a male or female, doesn't matter. This could be any kind of a connection, and this is just basically an issue or a challenge that you're experiencing with somebody. This is either your behavior, their behavior, or just a little bit of both. But we have alienation. So somebody is alienating somebody. So you may have been alienated by this person that you're watching this video for, or maybe perhaps you're doing the alienating. But regardless of what's happening here, this is a defense mechanism. This is what somebody is doing. They're alienating people from their lives because they just either can't deal, or this is just a part of their defense mechanism. So we also have confidence is your key to success. We do have a lion here, so I want to say that if somebody is a Leo, this is a special message for you, especially since Leo is a fire sign, but it doesn't have to be for everyone out there. But they hide behind their confidence. They alienate themselves with their ego as in, I'm just fine on my own. I don't need anybody. Okay, so there's this little bit of this false sense of pride and ego. I've got too much pride to either apologize. I have too much pride to basically say that I feel something or that I'm hurt. So instead, I'm going to be the very prideful lion. I'm going to alienate you from my life because I am feeling hurt or whatever the situation may be. Or I'm going to alienate you because I can't deal with your emotions. I can't deal with what you're bringing to the table right now. So there's that energy there. We have mountain and hill. So this is talking about reaching your goals. When I also see this too, I'm getting this energy here, especially with fire sign individuals, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very much into reaching their goals. I can't think of the word I want to use, but they're aspiring to reach their goals. I mean, this can be any sign though, but this is somebody who is very goal oriented, somebody who really wants to showcase their talent perhaps, or, you know, be the best, be the lion, be the king of the jungle, that kind of energy here, be at the top of the mountain, reach their goals. Somebody could be so consumed with success, so consumed with, you know, how they look or appear or what they're trying to create, that they're literally alienating everybody now in their lives. They're alienating you because they're so involved in their appearance, or they're so involved with building up their career, or so involved with being admired that they're alienating a chance for a connection. Some kind of energy like that is coming through. But what Spirit is saying is that you just got to surrender to what is. This person is who they are. It doesn't mean that they'll never be able to change, but you've got to just basically, instead of fight with this person, instead of try to fix them and change them, you just have to accept that this is who they are. You know, you might be dealing with somebody that's just very goal oriented, or very much into traveling and wanting to just not be committed, and just basically, you know, maybe they care about you and maybe they enjoy your energy and your company, but yet they don't want to be tied down. So you just have to surrender to, this is who this person is. They may not want to be in a relationship, or they may not want to be close or tied down. They may just be this way. And you can accept it, or you don't have to accept it. But what Spirit is saying is that you're better off just surrendering to who this person is and what they are right now, because this is just what is. You can't change the situation, so you have to compassionately accept it, and you will bring it into peace in this way. So trying to fight with somebody like this, it's not going to bring peace to the situation. We have regretful. There is something, though, about somebody being remorseful, sorry, and regretful. So if this fire sign individual, or maybe you're the fire sign, you've either done something or something's been done to you, somebody is regretful here. Somebody is bummed out by their behavior. They may know they're an arrogant, you know, SOB or whatever, you know, they may know that they are a certain way, and they just can't help it because that's just their ego. That's just their protective layer. That's just their alienation tactic. You know, I'm going to keep myself strong. I'm going to keep myself, I got too much pride to say I care or that I'm sorry. But there is regret here. Somebody is sorry. Somebody is bummed out. Somebody is definitely knows that they may have acted in a certain way that just totally blows. Or maybe that's you. So there's that energy here. We also have unplugged from the mass consciousness. So you might also be dealing with somebody, again, they're alienating themselves from the mass consciousness. They're alienating themselves from either the public, or they are kind of pulling away from even maybe you, or just outside circumstances. Even though I do see somebody who's very much into either their career or being out there and traveling and just having fun, I also see somebody who may be trying to unplug from anything that's taking away from their fire or their light or just their good time. So if they're unplugging from you or just alienating you, they're trying to alienate from everyone. I'm seeing it's not just you. We have banish. See, somebody's trying to banish somebody. So this is a tactic. Somebody's trying to banish or alienate somebody out of their life. Now, this could be you watching this video. You're doing this, or this has been done to you. But this is a tactic. Somebody does feel badly, though, about this is what I'm getting. They don't feel good about this. So it's a defense mechanism. You might think that somebody is doing this and they don't give a shit. And I'm actually giving that they do. They do feel regretful. They don't feel good. They might hide behind their pride, but deep down inside, I'm seeing that they're just a cub. And we have unconditional love, see? Because at the end of the day, they have unconditional love for you. They still care for you. Even though their actions may not reflect it, even though you're seeing the beast in them right now, there is light there. There is light within this individual. And maybe you see it and maybe you don't. Or maybe you are that beast right now where you're in that beast mode, that alienation mode, that banish mode, that prideful mode. You know, I'm just going to unplug from everything. I'm going to banish everything from my life. And at the end of the day, you know that's not really what you want to do. You know that this is just a defense mechanism. You know that that's just, you know, you're just in fear. You're just going to be regretful the longer that you alienate yourself and stay away and just try to, you know, just banish everything out of your life. We have mask. So somebody's hiding behind a mask. And I did get this from this reading. This is, again, this is a defense mechanism, a technique that people use because they are afraid. And we have the Four of Autumn. Now, the Four of Autumn is the Four of Pentacles, and this is an indication to me that somebody is being stubborn and they don't want to change. They feel very rigid in their stance. Like, this is my stance, and I'm standing by it. This is how I feel, and there's no changing it. So there's definitely this energy here of somebody being very stubborn and not wanting to change their attitude or their thoughts, or this is just who I am and you have to accept it. Tough shit. There's this energy. But again, it's a mask. It's a hard exterior that they've built. They've built these four walls around themselves is what I'm getting here. And this is just their defense mechanism. So again, you might be up against a person where you wish they weren't like this, but they are. And so if you're having a hard time with this, you know, you've got to find the key to dealing with somebody like this. It's like you either are going to kind of surrender to what is, or perhaps this is you saying, you know what? I'm not dealing with this shit anymore. I'm done. Maybe this is your turn to alienate this person and to banish this person out of your life because you're tired of this. We all have free will. We don't have to accept anything. But there is something to learn here, though, is what I'm getting from Spirit. There is a mystery, a key here. There is some kind of key knowledge of how to either, you know, get on better terms or to release this or to heal it or something. But I do have moving forward. So you are going to move forward. There is growth here. And the reason why is because there is unconditional love here. People really do care for one another. So it's not a lack of love, it's fear. Fear is in the way of this connection right now. Somebody is very fearful and prideful, and it's getting in the way of a really good connection, unfortunately. So anyways, I hope that gives you guys a little bit of understanding of either how you're acting or possibly the person that you're dealing with. So let's go ahead and move on into the last one, which is going to be water. Okay, you guys, so water signs is going to be Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio. My camera just got a little blurry. Let me go ahead and there we go. Okay, so this can be for males or females out there watching this video. This could be for any kind of a love connection. This could be about you, or this could be about the person that you're watching this video for. You can watch it either way. So we have projection. So this is an energy here where somebody is projecting onto you. So this is a great technique that people use. I mean, I've done it. I've had it done to me. So I've been on both sides of that coin. People project when they can't deal with their own shit. So you fling it onto somebody else. You transfer it over to somebody else. You project your fears. You project what you're thinking, what you're feeling onto somebody else, and then you make them wrong and you blame them. And sometimes people do this as a sabotaging mechanism to where they can go ahead and just basically do something that they want to do. It's a passive aggressive technique as well. So there's projection going on. Somebody might be projecting their fears onto somebody else. Somebody might also be projecting their fantasies onto someone here. Okay, that could be it as well. So we got to take it both ways. But we have this energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So this just tells me here that whatever has either been projected, and this is also another message that's coming through, whatever has been projected is now starting to gain momentum. So if you've been projecting negative or positive, that energy, the universe doesn't care what it is. It's energy. So whether that's negative or positive, it's going to gain momentum the more energy that you put into it. So if you're putting positive, 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 that's going to gain momentum. If you're putting negative, negative, hate, hate, hate into it, that's also going to gain momentum. So what have you been projecting onto this person, or this person is you? What have you been projecting? Okay? It's going to gain momentum. So we have fire. Take responsibility for your power. I think this is very interesting because I'm really getting a law of attraction vibe here. I'm getting the power of intention, our words, how powerful we are. This is about taking responsibility for our own power. What are we projecting into this situation? Are we projecting fear? Are we projecting positivity? What is it that we're projecting? What's gaining momentum here? Are we in a nightmare and we're just saying, I just don't understand why it just never improves, or I just don't understand why the same thing keeps happening over and over again? What are we projecting into the situation? So fire's that reminder of, you're very powerful. You are a manifester or a creator with your energy and your words and your actions. What are you putting out there? What is it that you want, for good or bad? So be very careful. But the thing is, that might not be you we're talking about. This could be about the person you're watching this video for. So what they're projecting, this is gaining momentum. And so if you're dealing with an extremely negative person and they just keep putting their hands up to you in this connection, they're saying no, 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 or they are angry, or they're projecting a lot of their fears, this is all gaining momentum. So this is an energy here, is we've got to take responsibility for what's happening here. Are we allowing something to happen? Are we just going to be an innocent bystander and just sit there and take it? What are we going to do? So there's many energies that are coming through. We have denial. So somebody's in denial about a situation. It says we have to accept people and situations exactly as they are without denying the difficulties. Then you can see things clearly and make the best decisions. So somebody has their blinders on. You either have a blinder up to this person that you're dealing with because you don't want to deal with something that's happening, or you in fact are in just denial when it comes to your own feelings and what you're adding to the situation. Maybe you're one of those people that are looking at the other person and blaming the other person for all of your problems, okay? And you're not taking responsibility to your own power, your own creations, and what you're creating in the situation. We all want to sit back and think that it's everybody else. It's not me, it's them. It's so easy to do that. It really is. But at the end of the day, we all need to take a look and see, what are we creating or adding to the situation or the problem or the challenge? So somebody's got to take off those blinders and really be truthful with themselves. They need to see a person for who they really are, or see themselves for what they are adding to the situation. We're not powerless, people. No, we are not. No one is a victim here, and that's what I'm getting in this reading, okay? This is an energy that's telling you you are only as powerless or paralyzed as you believe yourself to be. So if this is what you're projecting, this powerless, this desperate, this I'll do anything kind of an energy, this might be one of the reasons that a person is not responding to you in a positive way. They might see you as powerless and weak and paralyzed, and that is not an attractive energy. Is that what you're projecting into the situation? Or perhaps somebody is projecting this crap onto you. My hands are tied. I can't leave. I can't do this. I can't do that. They're just giving you a shit ton of excuses, and you're realizing, holy shit, I've been buying this for a long time now. That's not what the case is. No one is powerless. They have the power. They really wanted to get out of a situation, they could. So this is about not making excuses for someone. Or maybe this is you. You're powerless. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't release myself. I hear this a lot. I can't stop thinking about a certain thing. I can't disconnect from this person. I can't do this. I can't do that. And I'm not sitting here saying that it's easy or that, there's a magical solution, but it really is just that simple. You have to choose to believe that nothing has that much power over you, including another person. So it really is just a switch of the mind. It's almost like tricking your mind, if that's what you need to do, to let you just kind of realize or believe that no one has that kind of power over you unless you let them. So you're not powerless. You're surrendering yourself to this powerless feeling, but you are not powerless. So this is either somebody is projecting this image that I'm a victim, I can't do anything. Or maybe you are projecting this energy onto the situation as in, I just don't know what to do. I just feel like I'm at my wit's end. I just don't know, how I'm going to get out of the situation. Something like that. But there's definitely this energy coming through here. Every journey starts with a single step. So this is the thing. I am getting the energy here that somebody's giving a lot of excuses. You're giving a lot of excuses why you can't disconnect, or somebody is giving you reasons why they're not doing something. But guess what? Every journey starts with a single step. At least if you're making some effort, you're doing something. But if you're dealing with somebody that just keeps giving you a shit ton of excuses and they're not making one single step to do anything different, you got to take the blinders off. You have to. Okay? You have to. The thing is, sometimes we're involved with people and we think we know what's happening, and so we project what we think is going on. We see them as victims. We make all these excuses for them. But really, when it comes down to it, you really want to be logical with yourself. You really want to be logical about the situation. Sometimes it takes us to take off the blinders, or even hear maybe some kind of wisdom or advice from somebody else that we might not want to hear, that, hey, you know what? Maybe it's time for you to look at it in a different way, or start acting in a different way. We have breakthrough. That's the only thing. We've got the journey has to start with a single step. This is what's going to create a breakthrough. So if you're dealing with somebody that just is just giving you lip service and they're not taking any steps, you're never going to have breakthrough with this person. We have prophecy, guidance, and direction. So this is an energy here that's stating here that that's what the prophecy is. It's the guidance. That the guidance of, we need to take that single step. That's what's going to create a breakthrough. If we don't take that guidance, then we're going to be misguided. So we need to take this guidance. We need to take the first step. And that if that's not going to be the other person taking the first step, then you need to take the first step to take those blinders off and to step away from this situation. Because somebody is settling. Somebody is either afraid, or they're just too damn lazy, or they're giving you excuses, or you don't feel like you deserve more. So you're settling. You're settling. We have Seven of Winter, Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a card of a cheater, a liar. And now I'm not saying that this person is doing this, okay? But there is some kind of sneaky, deceptive behavior going on. And what the advice of this card says, there is a better choice. You're not seeing things clearly. You are running away from the truth. How could this card come up with denial when I was shuffling these cards? I couldn't believe it. I was just like, this is just dead on. So somebody is dealing with a situation that may not be serving them anymore. And it's time to disconnect, or it's time to allow somebody else to get out of this victim mode and to let them handle and settle their affairs before you kind of tie yourself and wait around for them to figure it out. So the final message for this was trust. People have to overcome their fears, and they have to have faith that they can do it. Some people may just feel like they just can't do it, but you have to trust. You have to have faith that you can overcome this, that you can untie yourself or unshackle yourself, or that other person will eventually do that on their own. But to sit around and wait for this, we all have the free will to do it. So I know that this was kind of a little bit more of a on the tough love reading side. But I just, whatever comes through the cards is how it comes through. So I just hope it resonates with some of you out there. I will put some trigger warnings up on this reading though, just so people know that there might be some messages here that are a little tough love. So thank you so much for watching, you guys. Have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye.